welcome back to Nails Before Films. It's your favorite disgrace to society, and I'm back to yapping about horse girls. Today, I'll be taking another look at Uma Musume Season 3. I've already done an episode-by-episode review and an overall review. Check them out if you like, links are in the description. This time, I'll explain the real-life careers of Kitasan Black and her rivals. I'm splitting it into two parts, covering episode 1 to 7 in this one. Let's get into it. Episode 1 opens with the Satsuki Sho, where we meet Kitasan, Satono Crown, and Duramente. Both Kitasan and Crown were undefeated up to this point, and Duramente were either first or second place. Throughout the race, Kitasan stayed in P2 and led the race on the home stretch. Duramente, on the other hand, stayed in the back and started chasing after the fourth corner. He showed off his incredible acceleration and surpassed Real Steel, who overtook Kitasan earlier. Duramente won the race, Kitasan was third, and Satono Crown, who was the race favorite, only got sixth. After class, Kitasan is ambushed by Sakura Baxingo, who was Kitasan's real-life dam sire. Baxingo was a short-distance racehorse, and most of his offsprings also specialized in short distance. Because of this, many were skeptical of Kitasan's ability to run mid to long distances. Of course, over his career, Kitasan won many long-distance races and proved that Baxingo's offsprings are not limited to short distance. Later, Gold Ship mentions that she's ready for the Takarazuka Kinen, and, you guessed it, it's the infamous 12 billion yen incident. Gorushi had high hopes of winning the Takarazuka Kinen 3 times consecutively, which would be a new record. He was the race favorite, but lost his temper in the gate and had a terrible start. As a result, 12 billion yen worth of bets became worthless paper scraps. The next race is the Japanese Derby. Duramente was the race favorite. Satono Crown, who only got 6th in Satsuki, was still the third favorite, mainly because he was undefeated up until the Yayoi Sho. There were only 9 horses who managed to do that before Crown, and 7 of them went on to win at least one classic. Here we learn about the Satono jinx. The Satono horses are owned by the Japanese billionaire Satomi Hajime, who was the head of Sega. He started horse racing in 1992 but never won a G1 race until Satono Diamond's 2016 Kikka Sho win, which we will see later. Anyway, Kitasan was the 6th favorite in the Japanese Derby. He briefly caught up with the leading horse at the 400-meter mark. However, he lost his speed after that, ending up in 14th place, the worst of his career. Duramente led the race at the 200-meter mark and won the Japanese Derby in record time. Satono Crown couldn't catch up with him and ended up in 3rd place. Duramente had a bone fracture after the Japanese Derby and couldn't race for the rest of 2015. Satono Crown didn't run in the Kikka Sho either, opting to race in the full Tenno Sho instead. Sadly, he did terribly in the full Tenno Sho, only getting 17th. Kitasan was only the 5th favorite in the Kikka Sho, mostly due to his poor Japanese Derby result and the ongoing doubts over his long-distance ability. However, Kitasan proved them wrong. Although Real Steel, who got 2nd and 4th in the last 2 classics, was close to catching up on the home stretch, Kitasan held onto his lead and won by a neck length. At the goal, the commentator in Uma Musume says it's a Kitasan Black Festival. Kitasan's owner is the famous enka singer Kitajima Saburo. He sang his song Matsuri, which means festival, after the Kikka Sho, his and Kitasan's first G1 win. It became Kitasan's winning anthem. 2 weeks after the Kikka Sho, Daya won his debut race, and we learn more about Cheval, who had a tough 2015. He was injured the day before the Wakakoma Stakes and had to drop out of the race. Aiming for the Japanese Derby, he ran in the Mainichi and Kyoto Shimbun, but got 5th and 8th respectively. After resting for 3 months and a half, Shubaru got 2nd in his comeback race. His team changed the race distance to 2,400 meters, and Shubaru will go on to win 3 consecutive races. The last big race of the year is, of course, the Arima Kinen. Being the winner of the Kikka Sho, Kitasan was 3rd in the fan voting. Gorushi, who would retire afterward, got the most votes. As the trainer mentions, Gorushi had to retake the starting gate exam after his disastrous Takarazuka Kinen start. Although he passed the test and had no problem starting in the Jupan Cup, he only got 10th place. Gorushi's jockey Yokoyama Norihiro, who rode him for the 3 races before Arima, was actually Kitasan's jockey for the race. This switch happened because Kitasan's main jockey, Kitamura Hiroshi, was injured before Arima. Gorushi's team switched to Uchida Hiroyuki, Gorushi's main jockey in 2012 and 13. As Gorushi mentions, he lost his last 2 Arima, to Orfebru in 2013 and to Gentle Donna in 2014. Gorushi was 3rd place both times. Later, we meet Sounds of Earth, who was 1 year older than Kitasan's generation. Earth only won 2 races in his 5-year career, and neither was graded. He came close to a graded win 7 times, often losing by just a little, which garnered him the nickname the strongest 2-win horse. Leading up to the 2015 Arima Kinen, he got 2nd place in 4 graded races, including the 2014 Kikka Sho where he lost by half a length. Before the Arima Kinen starts, Gorushi covers her face in the gate. This happened in real life because they were worried that Gorushi wouldn't enter the gate obediently, so they covered his eyes and made him go in before the other horses. The real-life Arima is pretty much the same. Gorushi couldn't catch up and finish in 8th place. We see an old man smiling in the stands, and he shows up again after the race. He is based on Gorushi's real-life groom, Imanami Takatoshi, whom Gorushi has a great relationship with. As for Kitasan, he lost to Gold Actor and Sounds of Earth 100 meters before the goal. This was another race where Earth almost won his first graded race, losing only by a neck length. After the race, Gorushi again mentions Orfebru and Gentle Donna, who retired in 2013 and 14 respectively. Both of them won the Arima Kinen as their last race, so it's a shame that Gorushi couldn't do the same, but his career is still impressive. He won 6 G1s and brings joy to fans even to this day. Gorushi gives her Rubik's Cube to Kitasan, saying that she got 6 sides and Kitasan has 1. Of course, this is about their G1 wins. Kitasan's next race is the Osaka High, which was still a G2 race in 2016. Kitasan was 2nd, losing only by a neck length. Starting this race, Kitasan's jockey changed to Take Yutaka, whom I've talked about in my Cinderella Grey Part 2 video. 2016 was his 30th season, and he had become one of the best Japanese jockey at this point. Here, Kitasan mentions that her body is quite strong. Kitasan's stable was known for hard training, and Kitasan was strong enough to endure it. He is also obedient and smart, rarely doing anything that would make training difficult, which also lowered the risk of injuries. In the anime, the trainer enlists the help of Mihono Bourbon. As I mentioned in my Season 2 video, Bourbon's trainer, Toyama Tameo, was known for his harsh training regime. In real life, Toyama was diagnosed with cancer and hospitalized after Bourbon's Kikka Sho. He passed away 6 months later, and Bourbon was transferred to another stable. Sadly, Bourbon never recovered and retired in 1994. When her training hits a slump, Kitasan goes to see Daya's Satsuki Sho. At the home stretch, Daya and another horse, Air Spinel, were close to overtaking the leading horse, Leon Des. However, Leon bore out and interfered with their course. The 8th favor, the Majesty, took this chance to surpass them, winning the Satsuki Sho in record time. Daya finished 3rd. Leon was demoted to 5th, which made Air Spinel 4th. 2 weeks later, Kitasan raced in the Spring Tenno Sho, which Season 3 goes over with a few still images during the Episode 4 ending. In real life, it was an impressive race. Kitasan had a good start and Take led the race at his own pace, reserving Kitasan's stamina. He started to spurt around the last 800 meters, but was slightly surpassed by Karen Mirotic, with 100 meters left. The 2 horses raced fiercely and seemingly passed the goal at the same time. In the end, Take's pace management paid off, and Kitasan won by 4 centimeters. Shubaru Gran and Sounds of Earth also raced in the Spring Tenno Sho. Shubaru got 3rd place while Earth got 15th. Next up is Daya's Japanese Derby, which he lost by 8 centimeters. The horseshoe on his left hind leg fell off on the backstretch, messing up his hoof. So it's impressive that Daya still got 2nd place. Later, Kitasan learns that Duramente is returning. He came back 3 months before Daya's Japanese Derby and won the Nakayama Kinen. Afterward, he traveled to Dubai for the Dubai Shima Classic. Before the race, Duramente's right hind horseshoe fell off, but he still got second place. On the news, Air Groove appears alongside Duramente. In real life, Duramente's dam was Admire Groove, whose dam was Air Groove. Later, Duramente says that everything is to prepare for the Prix du Lac de Triomphe. After winning the Japanese Derby, Duramente's team debated on racing in the Kikka Sho or the Arc. Neither came to fruition because of his injury, but the 2016 Arc was still on their mind. By the way, Gorushi ran in the 2014 Arc but only got 14th. Duramente says that it's her mission to win and prove she's the strongest. It runs in her blood. Admire Groove, who sadly passed away 10 months after Duramente was born, was the winner of the 2003 and 2004 Queen Elizabeth II Commemorated Cup. Air Groove, Duramente's second dam, won the 1996 Oaks and the 1997 Fall Tenno Show. His third dam, Dainakaru, won the 1983 Oaks. With Duramente, they achieved 4 generations of G1 wins. Subaru Crown and Satono Crown were also running in the Takarazuka Kinen, and the race pretty much happened in the same way. Kitasan tried to hold on to his lead on the home stretch, but was overtaken by Maria Light. Just before the goal, Duramente overtook him as well. Kitasan ended up in third place, losing to Duramente by just a nose length, who in turn lost to Maria Light by a neck length. Immediately after the race, there was something wrong in the way Duramente walked. Sadly, he was diagnosed with multiple ligament and tendon injuries 3 days later, ending his career. 4 months later, it was Daya's Kikka Sho. He was the race favorite while the Satsuki Sho winner, the Majesty, was the second favorite. Daya stayed in the middle and gradually moved up positions at the third and fourth corner. He entered the home stretch at a good position and completely pulled away from the Majesty. He overtook the front-running horse and no one was able to catch up with him. Daya won the Kikka Sho by 2.5 lengths, his owner's first G1 win. It was also the first time Deep Impact's offspring won the Kikka Sho, and the first classic win for his jockey, Christophe Lemaitre, who would have the most JRA wins from 2017 to 2021 and 2023 to 25. Daya's Kikka Sho appeared to have broken the jinx. Less than 2 months later, Crown will win the Hong Kong Vase, Satono Aries, the Asahi High Futurity Stakes, and Daya the Arima Kinen. The next year, Satono Aladdin will win the Yasuda Kinen and Crown the Takarazuka Kinen. Recently, Satono Rebu won the Takamatsu no Miya Kinen consecutively in 2025 and 26. A month after the Kikka Sho, Kitasan raced in the Jupan Cup, which was in November. It was the first time in 54 years for Tokyo to be snowing during that time, which made it difficult for horses to speed up. Being a front runner, Kitasan led the race, which also meant that his course was in better condition compared to others. Kitasan won the Japan Cup by 2.5 lengths. Sounds of Earth was in second place and Subaru in third. Later, we meet Subaru's sisters, Verxina and Vivlos. In real life, their dam was Haruwa Sweet. Verxina and Vivlos also had the same sire, Deep Impact, while Subaru's sire was Heart's Cry. Verxina was the winner of the 2013 and 14 Victoria Mile, while Vivlos won the 2016 Kikka Sho. Vivlos mentions Gentle Donna here, who defeated Verxina 6 times, including the Triple Tiara. Gentle won all 3 while Verxina was second. In the 2016 Arima Kinen, Kitasan finally raced Daya, and their odds were basically the same. Kitasan stayed in P2 for the most part, overtaking the leading front runner before the final corner. Daya and last year's winner Go Actor started chasing, and Daya surpassed Kitasan before the goal, winning by a neck length. Sounds of Earth was 8th, while Subaru was 6th. Now let's talk about what I think about the first half. The first 2 episodes are pretty good. Kitasan's journey toward winning the Kikka Sho is done well. I also like how they handle Gold Ship. Instead of just being a comic relief, we get to see her being serious. The Arima Kinen is a nice send-off, and she gets to be more than just a quirky horse girl. However, there should have been more on Sounds of Earth in the Arima Kinen. I don't understand why they never mention Earth not winning a graded race, which is his biggest characteristic. The 2015 Arima Kinen was the closest he got to winning a G1 race, losing by only a neck length. So how Season 3 didn't make it a bigger deal is beyond me. However, none of that compares to my disappointment toward Episode 4. It's criminal that the Spring Tenno show isn't animated. After building it up for an entire episode, you're really going to show the race in 3 still images and rob us of the payoff? During my first watch, after Kitasan finished the training, I was like, nice, I'm hyped for the Spring Tenno show now. Can't wait for the next episode. Imagine my shock when I realized that the ending was all we got. And it's the perfect race to show that her training paid off. Kitasan won the Spring Tenno show only by 4 centimeters. You can definitely say that she got that extra edge because of the training and support she got. The dialogue also needs more work. When Kitasan went to see Daya Satsuki Sho, she said Daya-jang 5 times before saying anything else. You really can't think of anything else for her to say? I'd rather Kitasan say nothing and just do facial expressions. Moving on, Episode 5 has tons of problems too. It's weird that Kitasan doesn't know Duramente is back until before the Takarazuka Kinen. According to the TV interview with Duramente, Season 3 follows his real-life career. She came back months ago in the Nakayama Kinen. So how come Kitasan doesn't know any of this and acts surprised to see Duramente back? You think Kitasan would care more about Duramente given that she won the first 2 classics. It even makes less sense how Duramente doesn't know who Kitasan is. They literally show Duramente at the tracks, watching the Kikka Sho in Episode 2. How does she not know who won it? It's weird that Duramente wants to defeat the Kikka Sho winner to prove that she's still the strongest, but has no idea who won it. I don't find it funny at all, just extremely bizarre. However, that's not nearly as bad as Kitasan's "Who?" in the Takarazuka Kinen when someone other than Duramente catches up with her. Again, it's not funny at all, and Kitasan comes off as extremely disrespectful. Kitasan is supposed to be this friendly Uma Musume, so it's out of character for her to be so rude. In real life, Maria Light, the winner of the Takarazuka Kinen, was a G1 horse who won the 2015 Queen Elizabeth II Cup. She also raced with Kitasan before in the 2015 Arima Kinen, getting 4th place, losing to Kitasan by just a head length. It's baffling that Kitasan doesn't know who she is and acts like she's a nobody. I'm not saying that they shouldn't make this joke, but Kitasan shouldn't be the one doing it. It should have been the audience. Duramente acknowledging Kitasan after the race is also weird. It makes no sense for Duramente to ignore the winner who actually beats her and focuses on Kitasan. Overall, the races are just not that interesting. Instead of analyzing the races in their inner monologues or going over their feelings, the horse girls just yell a lot. I'm not saying that they can't yell, but it should be used scarcely, or else it loses its impact and feels lazy. Lastly, for some reason, the Jupan Cup is the Jupan Cup in Episode 7. This isn't a big deal, I just find it to be funny. That's basically my thought on the first half of Uma Musume Season 3. Hope you guys like my review and nails. I redid the nails I had for my previous videos. Again, I did Kitasan Black, Duramente, Satono Diamond, Shubaru Gran, and Satono Crown. As always, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, comment, share, do what you want. Keep nailing it, and don't be a terrible roommate like Kitasan, people.